Christ was born in modern-day Palestine under the threat of a government engaged in a massacre of innocents. Thousands of years later, right-wing forces are violently
I see no mistakes. The zero, actually. I think this is an accurate statement.
Is being criticized for invoking the Israel-Hamas war into her Christmas message.
What? How dare you? How dare you not think of the birth of Jesus or even St. Nicholas as he brings us our gifts? Why, what are you doing talking about contemporary stuff that actually demands the attention of politicians and people's eyes?
She wrote in part, quote, "In the story of Christmas, Christ was born in modern-day Palestine under the threat of a government engaged in a massacre of innocents. Thousands of years later, right-wing forces are violently
I see no mistakes. The zero, actually. I think this is an accurate statement.
Occupying Bethlehem as similar stories unfold for today's Palestinians, so much so that the Christian community in Bethlehem has canceled this year's Christmas Eve celebration out of both fear for their safety and respect. Former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee joins me now.
Of course, right? Does he have a new fucking terrible children's book to plug? Yeah. Jesus was American. Yeah. My new book, Jesus was American. He was white, Christian, and American. Yeah. Also, you doing that whole, like, is this a Mormon thing? It's a Mormon thing, isn't it? Yeah, all right.
To respond to that, I'm sure you have a lot of thoughts, Governor. What do you think about her?
Where is she wrong? This might surprise you. She was not wrong. I mean, she definitely was making a very well-crafted political statement along the vein of, Jesus was a Palestinian Jewish man, and I believe, were he to return today, as many, Christian nationalists do want, were that to happen, I probably would not be too content at the people who are manufacturing, who are selling, and who are dropping bombs on Palestinian babies. Probably. I mean, like, we keep hearing about the second judgment once, it's in Revelations, people. But, like, if that is something that you genuinely think is going to happen tomorrow, and then the might and fury of God Almighty, your Lord, I mean, personally would imagine that he's not going to be too keen or kind on that. I've said before, Matt Walsh is never entering the kingdom of heaven, because I believe that to be a factually, scientifically accurate statement. I've never spoken about, like, how afraid I would be if I was someone, again, who would be manufacturing, selling, distributing, and then dropping bombs on Palestinian babies. It would probably be a very terrible thing for the Christian nationalists and the Christian fascists to put themselves in a position to do, right? I'd imagine so.
Message.
I'm saying that's what AOC was implying. Yes, definitely that.
Well, there's a lot to unpack in that, Carly. Yeah. First of all, is she not aware that Jesus was Jewish? Is she not aware that...
Did you not know? How could you... Fuck.
The whole term Palestinian meant Jewish people until 1962, when Yasser Arafat co-opted the term and created a nation and made...
That's how it happened? That's how Palestine came to be? Wow. I mean, sometimes you hear the story where not only, like, it's in the Bible, so clearly this is going to be a, right to land claims right there, but also that, like, yeah, the term Palestine or Palestinian or Philistine, if you will, being, denoted by Roman emperors prior to the Ottoman Empire then taking it over, and then the French, and then the British, all these different nations that are occupying a land where these Semites come from. But Semites, again, includes people who speak Arabic, people who speak Hebrew. Yes, those are Semites. Those are Semitic people from that land.
Up a people and called them the Palestinians who previously were Jordanian. Is she a...
Jesus was born in Bethlehem, yes, which would now be in the occupied West Bank, which technically, yes, even by the definition of what we in the contemporary world consider countries, would technically be Palestine, recognized internationally by the majority of countries of the rest of the world, recognize it as Palestine, which would make Jesus a Palestinian Jewish person. Yeah. That's not in any way being said to be offensive. That's not. I'm not saying that to disparage any religion, any people in any way. I don't consider the statement to be offensive in any way. I think it's perfectly awesome to be Jewish, perfectly awesome to be Palestinian. Yes. This is what we should be learning from this. It's not a moment to separate all of us as human beings, from the birth of Jesus. You can believe that he was just a humble carpenter. You can believe that he was the Son of God. You can believe that he knows how to turn water into wine in the greatest party trick of all time. That doesn't matter what you believe. Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's not even being said again as an insult.
Where the history of the Middle East, Jesus, the Jewish people, the state of Israel, are virtually anything else that she talked about in her post.
Yeah, she talked about the massacre of innocents without even mentioning October 7th as well.
What? No way. Yes. Does she have a long history of saying that she loves October 7th? It was her favorite thing ever. Did she make a lot of those statements in the past that she needs to correct?
Closets and take things and then go back into Gaza. I mean, it's the most uncivilized act of atrocity that we've probably seen in our lifetime. I mean, just beyond measure. And
again, you have to always listen to the language, right? It always has to make Palestinians sound like just brutal savages, beasts of the highest nature. Yes, and then after the massacre, after all the babies had been beheaded, then that's when the civilian population, yes, all of them are bad, every single one of them, even the half-children civilian population, they too are beasts. These are beastly kids, monsters, if you will. They entered the area and they looted. They looted the homes. They robbed them all. Those savages did. Those beasts. And you're like, well, it's very, very clear the way you're speaking about Palestinians, the dehumanization in real time. Yeah.
For anybody to defend this and scream from the river to the sea, it's not just anti-Semitism. It's anti-humanity. This is evil in its most grave form.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are shouting from the river to the sea, especially on college campuses. And they're
Are you just doing slogans? I feel like you're just doing slogans. I just feel like it's like, hey, here's the things you need to hit, Mike. Oh, don't worry. I know them all. Oh, okay. So I'm just going to mention. So Harvard bad. Colleges, woke, liberal, mind virus. Yep. All bad.
Is major backlash now happening in Harvard, and apparently former and current Harvard faculty are now pressuring the members of the Harvard board. It's an 11-member panel called the Harvard Corporation for standing by President Claudine Gay. Several of these faculty members spoke to the Wall Street Journal. One former Harvard Medical School dean says they're under pressure. That's obvious. They are the fiduciary body, and no one will deny that Harvard's reputation has taken a very substantial hit in the world. It's on their watch that this is happening. What do you think is going to happen to Harvard, the future of the university, college campuses in general? Because this is happening pretty much across the board, and also what's going to happen to Claudine Gay?
If they don't wake
again, I guess we moved on from AOC. We're just getting rid of I think it's like a laundry list of grievances, right? We got to talk about Claudine Gay. We got to talk about how, unwilling to admit that this was, students calling for the extermination of all the Jews. And it's like, well, no, that's not what they were saying. That really is, in my opinion, you're trying to downplay the severity of someone actually calling for that. Because there are lots of people calling for that. The neo-Nazis, the far right, the Christian fascists, all those fucking assholes. Yeah, they seem to be saying a lot of horrifying anti-Semitic stuff, and there seems to be a lot of people who are committing horrifying and anti-Semitic attacks in the United States, including younger people, and in Canada too, by the way. Like fucking teenagers are getting arrested for potential acts of violence that they were about to commit towards Jewish people simply for them being Jewish. These are fucking people who've been radicalized online by a lot of horrifying bigotry that gets spewed by all these assholes. And yet someone on a college campus being like, hey, by the way, Palestinians should be free. Not the same thing. Not like, again, put a watermelon sticker on the backpack. Oh no. They oppose apartheid, ethnic cleansing. They're not pro-genocide. Yeah, censorship. I mean, if you wanted to censor people who were opposing ethnic cleansing, that kind of puts you in a pro-ethnic cleansing position, doesn't it? Like, if you're like, oh, no, they're anti-ethnic cleansing, and they want to talk about how ethnic cleansing's bad. If I'm pro-ethnic cleansing, I would want to shut them up then. I don't want them to speak or have speech. No, because I want the ethnic cleansing. I would like the ethnic cleansing to continue. Yes, unabated. So, silence.
up and find their moral compass, then I would hope parents would say, I may send my kids to a lot of places, including a community college, but I'm not going to waste money sending my kid to a place that will turn him into an idiot. And why would I pay $70,000 plus a year so that my child will end up hating America and being a total dolt when it comes to the realities of history?
And there's so much alternatives now. You can go to Jordan Peterson University. It's not accredited yet, but it could be in the future. We don't know. There's Trump University, not as active anymore. What else? Yale has a university, I believe, opening up. You could go to the Yale's college dropout experience. That could be something that everyone can enjoy. There's PragerU. Yes, I believe anyone who watches over 20 PragerU videos is considered a graduate of Prager University. So enjoy that. PragerU never actually made a fake school. No, they don't have the honor. They haven't gone the Jordan Peterson route, unless it's something I didn't know about.
Yes, they should fire her, but the board ought to resign in disgrace for not having already done it, and they ought to recognize that Harvard's history was that of training Christian men.
PragerU is not an accredited university, nor do we claim to be. We don't offer degrees, but we do provide educational, entertaining, pro-American. That's the start of the PragerU site, by the way, just so we're clear. Look at this. Prager University. PragerU, PragerU.com, PragerU. PragerU is not, I repeat, not an accredited university, nor do we claim to be. We don't offer degrees. We just use the same word to trick people, and then they can share the videos and trick other people. I'm like, but this one comes from a university. No, it doesn't. It's not a university. What is similar is just the word. They got the word university in there. That's the only thing the two have in common is the word. That's it. Yeah.
Ministers. Yeah. I don't think they have a clue what their history was. They certainly aren't living up to it now.
Yeah, I think a lot of parents are going to be thinking twice about sending their kids to Ivy League universities, which is something I never...
Oh, don't worry. Most parents, they can't afford that. No, so that's not something that most parents are worried about. Yes. Oh, yeah, I'm thinking twice about sending my kids to Ivy League universities. What's the tuition for what? For, I don't know, anything. Give me a base level. Oh, it's like $150,000, $200,000 a year. Ah, yes, no, I do not have this. Don't have that. Yeah, and if I did, probably would want to start maybe buying like an apartment or something with that kind of money. Definitely not worried about sending my kid to Harvard. Not right now. But rich people, yes, probably very concerned about sending their children to Harvard. Yeah, probably something they're a little bit worried about.
Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Can you please hit the like and subscribe button and maybe leave a comment? It really does help the videos out. But first, the people who produce everything you see before you and make this entire channel possible: Amazing Fletch, Anna Loves Riley, Ariane McCarthy, Cheryl Alvarez, Doug Caddy, Everything Important, Hagbard Celine, Multimondi, Omni, Peanut Butter Blondie, Political Puppy, Quiet 185, Rachel K, Riley and Anna, Roller Dragon, Ruby K, Cernicus, Spinach Monster, Stellar Vision, Sebastian DeMel, Trevbot.exe, Words Greenwood, and Travis McClinton. And also, thank you to every other person who helps fund this show. Their names are on the screen right now. It would not be possible without every single one of them. We cannot thank you enough. And if you want to join the Patreon, please come to patreon.com/theserfs and help us exist.